Okay. Alright. Stream is starting. Let me do my normal checks, and then we'll get started. Okay, let's see how the sound is of me versus sound effects. Hello, Zio. People watching so far, welcome to the live stream. I wanted to do a live stream for Halloween, and well, this is it. Hang on, let me I'm gonna lower my computer volume so I don't get a big echo effect going on here. So yeah, I decided to take a little break from work and do a little live stream for Halloween, and Dark Souls Remastered seemed to be you know, appropriate. And yes, Zio, this is the Switch version of Dark Souls Remastered. So I'm just gonna kind of do whatever I'll do the other stuff I was planning on doing today, and just as a stream, and if anybody has questions, feel free to ask. Would be it about Dark Souls or something else. Right now I am running around Blighttown because I'm not 100% sure if I grabbed the Firekeeper soul here that you can collect to upgrade the potion items. Oh! That looked like it hurt. And I forgot to turn the HUD back on. Let me do that real quick. Turn it off to make the screenshot for this stream. There we go. We got our nice little dung pie here. Let's see. I sent my stuff on Twitter already, so I should be good to go. So yeah, let's see. Don't even know if I'm going the right way. I know there's a path. This is not. I do not believe I'm going the right way. I know there is a path from from Blighttown into Valley of the Drakes. So, all right, let's just keep moving on. Killing these guys and working our way, see if we can find this. And if not, we'll find a bonfire and warp someplace else. I should probably. Oh yeah, Zio, I'm excited for any Resident Evil on a handheld. 4 I've played on a lot of different systems. PS2, PS3, PS4, PC. Alright, let's see. I remember when I used to come through Blighttown and was so worried about everything here. Alright. No. Okay, a couple fire dogs that aren't using fire. And we might be close to our first death. Or I may pull through. Oh, I pulled through. Let's just heal that up. And keep moving. And note, this is Halloween night for me, even though trick-or-treating in my town was yesterday. Note that I do have the bloodstain up, so if anybody watching has Dark Souls for the Switch, and my current character is not too far after you get the Lord Vessel, so you know, if you want to leave summon sign or want me to. For a boss that you're you're working on, just tell me where to go and I will attempt to help you. Yes, Zio, and I'm sure 4 will continue to be ported as new consoles come about. Alright. I'm trying to remember where the exit into the Valley of the Drakes is from Blighttown. Because I know I looked up where all the Firekeeper souls are. Because I want to upgrade my potions without having to kill all those nice fire gatekeepers. Because I like them. Alright, let's see. I think I know where I need to go, and it is not up here. So let's, I'm gonna warp back over to Spider-Girl and work my way from there. Okay, Daughter of Chaos. I'm pretty sure I know where I need to go now. I went the complete wrong way. Yeah, Zio, my PayPal is paypal.me/reviews2go. If you would like to send a donation, I'll just drop that link in the chat here in a second. My PayPal. Okay. Let's go say hi to Spider-Girl, even though I'm not part of her covenant anymore. Even though I should, because... Actually, I have 6 humanity. I'm going to join her covenant real quick and see if she'll open that path for me. Join Spider-Girl's covenant. And offer her humanity instead of using it. You are supposed to be able to open up a path through that door right behind you that the camera's looking at. Now, I did all this earlier, but the path didn't open, so I think the game might have kind of glitched on me. So whenever I'm around here and I have stuff to spare, Still no open path. I can't take this. Yep, that means some little message probably means someone else also cannot take that. Alright, well. We'll keep that going for a while, see if I can't open up that path later. I didn't the last time I went through here, but oh well. Now let's work our way back over to Blighttown, and I'll see if I can't find that soul somewhere. And those just joining in, yes, this is Paint Guardian Leatherface here, because I got that nice little headpiece. That's a rare drop from the butchers in the depths. So for pretty much half the game, I was running around as Leatherface, hoping I'd find a chainsaw-like weapon, and was very disappointed. But let's just keep trekking through here and see if we can't find a Firekeeper soul so I can upgrade my potions. Because on this file, I believe there's also some stuff later in the game, but this character isn't up there yet. So let's head back this way. Probably get poisoned running through this poisonous swamp. And we'll see where we can go. I know the first time I found the Valley of the Drakes, I was just like, nope. That was just a big nope. Saw those big dragons, I'm like, yeah. No, I need to use this bonfire just in case I die on the way up there. So I don't have to trek all the way back from Spider-Girl's little room. Alright. Thank you, Zio. I appreciate it. I really enjoy all the reviews and stuff that I do, and at least I like to think that I work hard on them. Not as much time now as before, since I officially have a job again, but, you know, I try to use what time I can to play and review games. Which, if anybody of you want to want to have a little preview of what I'm working on, I got a nice little review code from Blizzard the other day for Diablo 3. So, you should expect a review of that sometime soon, too. I was a little shocked when I received that email. Never reviewed any of Blizzard's games before, and they're just like, here you go, here's a Diablo 3 review kit. I'm like, oh my goodness. So that's one of the things I'm working on. Though, since it's Diablo 3, it's probably going to take me a little bit, but that's what I'm working on next. That, and Child of Light, and whatever I end up getting later in the month, which is definitely going to be World of Final Fantasy and Pokemon, and I'm not sure what else. Alright, let's get rid of these mosquitoes. Another one up here? No. Oh, he's right there. Got it. Okay. So while I think I know where it is now. Yeah, I'm looking at my message board. It's someone describing the area. I'm like, oh, Alright, let's keep heading this way. I think it might be over here. Oh, he slashed at me. Never seen these guys use that move before. Most of the time they just use the fire breathing move. Alright. Alright. There you go. There's supposed to be a path around here somewhere with a bunch of enemies. Okay, this is where the key to a future area was. So this isn't what I'm looking for. See, what I'm looking for is up higher a little bit. If anyone watching the stream knows where it is, feel free to point me in the right direction. And not towards, I think that's where I need to go, right there. Okay. Well, where was that ladder that I just came up? Because I am 100% sure I will not survive that fall. Ladder. Alright, now that we know the general direction we need to go in, let's start working over there. Let me scoop this place out first. I wonder if this could end very badly for me. Yep. Oh boy. Alright, I got him. I'm poisoned, but I got him. Let's see if this is regular poison or toxin. Toxin, of course. Alright. Hi there, Seamus and Alex. I am playing on the Switch. It plays quite well. And I'm about to die. Unless I can do something real sneaky here, because I did not mean to jump on this. Nope, dead. And the first death of the stream. And Seamus, later on, or later in the week or anything, I did actually publish a review of Dark Souls on the Switch earlier today. So there's a lot of my thoughts in there. But overall, I really like it. It plays quite nicely. Haven't had any problems with the online stuff or anything. Just note that it's kind of the middle ground between Dark Souls on PS3 and 360 and Dark Souls Remastered on Xbox One and PS4, since the PS4 and Xbox One versions run at 60 FPS, whereas Switch runs at 30, and the original occasionally ran at 30 from what I've heard. This area, though, in the original, I've heard was a frame rate nightmare on PS3. Alright, now I worked my way back up to where I was going, and I got into my little habit of getting real far, getting hit, and then saying, you know what, I don't need to fight all these enemies. I still left a bunch of them down there. And I hope you like it, Nickwick. I really like it. I've never played any of the Souls games before, and honestly, lately, I've been a very impatient person when it comes to difficulty in games, but I really got into Dark Souls. Kind of makes me wish the trilogy had come to the Switch instead of just remastered. Even though I've heard that Dark Souls 2 isn't as wonderful of a game as 1 and 3 were. I just get stuck. I got stuck. Oh well. Just drop down here and go back up. Yeah, please don't throw your Switch across the room. I'm sure that's not good for it. I have yet to throw my Switch across the room, or my controller. Had a lot of frustration around a certain infamous 2-on-1 boss fight. The Ornstein and Smo boss fight that as soon as you Google it, pretty much everything that comes up is just people having trouble with them. But you know, the whole co-op stuff of the online does wonders for those kind of fights. Midnight Fury, you can start here since this is the first game of the series. Dark Souls, I don't know when Dark Souls 2 takes place, but Dark Souls 3 takes place a long time after Dark Souls 1. So this is a good starting point. And as far as story, it's not a story-heavy game. It's a lore-heavy game. So I think that I've heard that even you could even jump into Dark Souls 3 without playing 1 first, even though there are a lot of homages to Dark Souls 1. I went the wrong way again, didn't I? I did. Yeah, I'm just going to jump off here now. Alright, the first intentional death of the stream, because I went the wrong way. Again. But anyways, Midnight Fury, this is it's a good starting point as any, since it is a remaster of the first game. And there's the whole thing of the fact that hello, who are you? Oh, it was just a phantom of another player there. But there's also the fact that Dark Souls 3 has a lot of quality of life changes. I've heard that Dark Souls 3 is basically them trying to meld the Dark Souls and Bloodborne systems into one. So I think that if someone gets into Dark Souls 3, wants to play the original, it might be a little weird transitional period. You know, with playing the formula with all the quality of life changes, then playing the formula without the quality of life changes. But that's just what I've heard. Nick, as far as tips and tricks, I would say it depends on what you do in action games, because most of the time in action games, when I want to avoid or not get hit by an enemy attack, I always dodge. In this game, I've learned to guard a lot. But I guess the big thing is patience, because each area is like, you get to an area, it's really difficult, real tricky, but then once you've gone through the area a few times, it's just like, oh, well, I know this, I know how to fight this, I know how to deal with this. Because the first time I came through this area, Blighttown, I found some poison enemies. I had almost no anti-poison items. I ran through everything. I just ducked and ran. I'm like, I'm just gonna run until I see a bonfire. Ran, died, until I finally found a bonfire, and eventually I had to just kind of deal with learning how to fight at least most stuff. I would say don't force yourself to fight literally everything in an area, especially the large mini-boss tier enemies. But there is a whole learning process to each area. But I would just maybe find a weapon that you're comfortable with and stick with it. Another thing is when you create a character, you can... Actually, I can just show you, because I'll just save here. Because when you create a character, you can make an item to start the game with. And certain items are better than others, because they all have their different little effects that will affect kind of how quickly you do certain things in each playthrough. So let me just go open another profile, start a new game, and I'll just go through the items and show you the ones that I would recommend you start with that I obviously did not start with. As soon as we get loaded up here. Because I don't remember what I started with. Alright. Going on my other profile, because I don't know if it erases your previous character if you choose new game. Alright, so gift, here we go. This is what I would suggest for beginners. There are a bunch of doors that are locked in each area. Some of the areas have their bonfires or your checkpoints where you respawn when you die behind locked doors, and having the master key with you basically automatically unlocks those doors, rather than what you normally have to do is venture farther into the dungeon and find the key and then go back to unlock the door. Now, pendant does nothing. There is no reason to get the pendant unless you want to make things as difficult as possible. The binoculars helps the zoom if you plan on being like a bow user. Twin Humanities I would not suggest, because Twin Humanities is an item that you get from bosses all the time, and for the Humanity system there are enemies you can farm off of. Black Firebomb I wouldn't, because you can get them later in the game. I think this is the one I started with. Divine Holy Water fully restores HP and status. I don't actually think you can permanently use that. I think I lost it. I think I used it once and then it was gone. Then Old Witch's Ring only has one function. There is a spider girl in the game that doesn't talk to you when you join her covenant, and the only use of this Old Witch's Ring is to hear dialogue from her, basically hear her background. So I'd say binoculars or master key would be the big gifts to start with, because I knew nothing about these gifts, and halfway into my playthrough I kind of wish I had chosen the master key, because when I first found the depths dungeon, I was scrambling around with no health potions and a sliver of health trying to find the key to get into that bonfire. But that's just me. Now we'll go back into my main profile and continue looking for this Firekeeper soul, which Firekeeper souls are, if people are not aware, they're little souls you can find that can upgrade, that can permanently upgrade how much health the Estus flasks or health potions give back when you use them. So I'm kind of looking around, because at some of the bonfires you can kill the NPCs by them to get these, but it also means the bonfire can no longer be used. And those people kind of give useful information if you're not like using a walkthrough to go through the game. Okay, Blade, so binoculars actually can be obtained without the gift option. Okay. Then, based on Blade's input, Master Key is the one to go for, especially if you are new to Dark Souls, like I was when I started this, and how I'm sure a lot of Switch users will be when they start the game. Okay. This is going to be a tricky area. No, I don't want the crossbow. He can hit me from here. This is not gonna be good. Alright. I'm gonna make a mistake and just try to rush through this area. Probably gonna contract toxin from this because of all these guys everywhere. Oh, that's probably where the Firekeeper soul is. That glowing spot on that corpse back there. But yeah, it's good to know that you can get binoculars pretty easy early on from Blade. All right, now. And what I just did is another kind of tip for combat. When you have swinging weapons, I found that in a lot of tight corners, my sword would bounce off of the wall if I wasn't angled correctly, and it would make fighting in tight corners a little more difficult. But that's based off the weapon, because I've seen like rapier weapons that didn't have this problem. All right. Well, that's not a Firekeeper soul, but I'll keep looking. It's probably down there below. I can probably just drop down here. Alright, this will probably end bad. This is going to end badly for me. This is going. Yep. And that ended badly for me. Midnight, I prefer handhelds. I've always preferred handhelds ever since I was small and played on a Game Boy and Game Boy Color over stuff like the N64. Handhelds have always been my thing. Granted, I use the Switch in docked mode a lot, but I've always enjoyed handhelds, and pretty much handheld and portable everything. Because the computer I use is a Surface Book. I don't think I've used a desktop as my main computer for many, many years. I always prefer portable for all of my tech stuff. Alright, let's work our way back over there and see if we can figure out a better way of handling that instead of dropping down and being rushed by 4 or 5 fire dogs. And nice Midnight. I always appreciate finding other people around the web that also prefer handhelds. And I died again. My bad. Though I do see some... Looks like something needs to be repaired of my equipment. So it's probably a good thing I died there, so I could go back to the bonfire. What needs to be repaired? Well, not that I have souls for it. Broadsword kind of needs to be repaired. None of my armor can be seems to need repair. Armor the shield. All right. Well, I guess I'll put off getting that Firekeeper soul for a minute while I collect some stuff to repair my equipment, because equipment can break in this game. I haven't had anything break on me yet, but when it's close to breaking, you get a nice little message saying like your weapon is at risk or your armor is at risk. Okay, that's 300. See another one of these guys back here. Alright, now let's go back and see if I can repair all my stuff. Or at least all the stuff that I'm using. Blade, I haven't seen very much of those games, but I mean, Dark Souls Remastered seems to work fairly well. The only thing I'm thinking of is I've heard the areas in Dark Souls 3 are really, really big. So I imagine it would just be a matter of how well the porting goes. Like I said, I have not played those. Dark Souls Remastered was my first 3D Souls game. I've watched someone play Bloodborne a little bit on PS4, and I've seen videos and Let's Plays of Dark Souls 3, but I haven't actually played them myself. Now, if they do release them on the Switch, I will. Alright, repairing equipment. Repair you, and repair you. Now let's head back up and try to get that stuff again. All right. But, you know, whenever someone says, do you think this is possible? I think of the fact that when the Switch first came out, there were games that a lot of people said were not possible on the Switch that came to the Switch. I remember a few months in, a bunch of people on Reddit and message boards all over the web were saying that Doom 2016 was not possible to do on the Switch. And then it happened. And then when Doom Eternal was announced, people said that's not possible on the Switch either. And then Bethesda said, guess what? So I think it really depends on who's handling it and what exactly is involved in the porting process. Because the more I see people saying this isn't possible on the Switch, the more examples I see of those things becoming possible. Alright. Now let's work on the dart throwers. Dart throwers? Oh, I didn't know the dart throwers were non-respawnable. Okay. Except him, because he's still there. Alright, got him. I don't think I have any tox. Nope, I don't. I have plenty of purple moss for poison, but nothing for toxin. All right. Oh, that didn't work out too well. There we go. I don't think they can come up here. So I'm just gonna have to heal like crazy. The question is, can I... Oh, this... Firekeeper Soul, got it. And you know, I'm just gonna stay here because I'm gonna for the people like Nick that haven't played this before, I'm gonna show you something else that's neat. Since dying is part of the story in this series, when you die, all of the souls that you collect that work as money and experience, you lose, but any items you pick up, you keep. So, when I respawn here, I should still have that Firekeeper Soul in my inventory. Alright. And there it is. Boost power of Estus Flask. So now we're gonna fast travel someplace. I'm pretty sure she can upgrade it. So we'll go over there. Because I went through most of the game without upgrading these at all. I went through most of Dark Souls without doing a single upgrade to the Estus Flask.
Go ahead, even it.
Alright, reinforce Estus Flask. And Estus Flask reinforced. Alright, where were the other ones at? I don't think I'm to those areas yet on this character. I got the one in the Undead Church. Just got the one in Blighttown. I'm not gonna kill NPCs for them. Okay. I think I got all I can for that, at least for the moment. I don't think I have any more. No, I don't. What about... Well, I guess I can show one. Hey there, Steven. Long time no see. But if Nick is still watching this, I'll show you that one of the really kind of cheesy grinding spots is still here in the remastered version. Because there was an area in the original Dark Souls where you could go in and you could kind of trick some enemies into going off ledges to give you mad experience. So let's head down this way and I'll show you where that is. Because when you access this, Nick, if you're having a bunch of problems, you can do some pretty nice early game grinding to get levels. Just as soon as I check to see if I have the stuff I need to... No, I don't. Do I? What was I... Oh, right, modify equipment. Oh, I can do that right now.
I'll be seeing you there.
I'll go and collect some souls on the way over to this bonfire. Oh yeah, Nick. It did come out physically, and the nice thing is that the physical version has the DLC. Granted, it's $10 more than the digital version, but it does have the DLC characters and songs and stuff built in. At least from what I've heard. The version that I got from Xseed Games was the digital version. So just the base stuff. Because when I played it, the DLC stuff actually wasn't on the eShop. Alright, let's see. Just gotta get past a few more of these guys. And we'll be able to get that going. Actually, yeah, grab that, because they're a good resource for poison cures. Rest this bonfire, then I will show you. Now, unlocking this area early in the game takes some time. Because it's through this door. And this door can only be unlocked by something to buy at the shop at the blacksmith we saw a minute ago for 20,000 souls. So, to do that, I had to go down this path and grind probably 6 or 7 runs to get the souls necessary to buy it. But once you unlock it, you go from 6 or 7 runs through this area. It's probably about 6 or 7 enemies apiece. Versus what I'm going to hopefully do correctly now. Now, all the enemies in here are not doable when you first get to this area. At least, not without a significant amount of skill. So what you do is you aggro them. And then get them to follow you. And you head back to the entrance, which... And if you do this just right, you can jump off the stairs to a small ledge, and they will jump off the stairs and fall to their deaths. And... don't do that. Don't do that. But if you do it right, you can get on the ledge, and it'll... And when they fall off the ledge and die, it'll give you all the souls they're worth. Which is basically... If you get all 3 of them, it's about 8,000 souls, I think. So, run in, aggro him, and aggro the guy on the left. And then try to manage your stamina as you beeline it back to this area. And hopefully I won't fall off this time. Alright. You go right back to the corner. And they'll follow you. Sometimes they'll... And that happens. He went off the ledge. Now, sometimes it's hard to get all 3 of them to jump off the ledge like that. But we'll just wait a minute, and you'll see the souls in the bottom right corner just start shooting up. Because he fell off. He's going to die here in a second, and then I'm going to get the souls for experience for leveling up or to spend the shops. It takes a minute or 2 to do it, though. There you go. See? Plus 2,000. And if you want to compare it to the enemies you get here, the highest soul drop I get from any of the enemies down here is about 800. So that's So that's a lot more than so this is a lot more and a lot faster than this. In Blade, I did most of my first playthrough offline. The Ornstein and Slow fight, I did the online co-op for. That was the point where I thought, okay, I'm just going to go online and find some summon signs and take them into this boss fight. Because I had spent a good couple hours of constant trying, going back and getting humanity, trying to clear out the room beforehand to summon the Knight of Solaire NPC to help me. He didn't help me very much, probably because it was, at that time, it was difficult for me to clear out that room. But that was pretty much the only boss that I actually did the co-op for. And really the thing about that fight that I really didn't like was the fact that that there were two bosses. That really threw me off, because I'd be focusing on one and the other one would be coordinated so well in a lot of fights that it would just mess me up really bad. I'm gonna go back and keep upgrading this weapon. So I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to go online, see if I can find some summon signs. I found a couple, and then the fight basically beat itself. When I looked for that fight, I found a bunch of summon signs outside that fight. It might have just been because that's the infamous high difficulty wall boss fight. But when I was outside that fight, there were probably 10 summon signs right outside the door. Granted, I haven't seen very many laying around elsewhere, but I see messages relatively often, and I see summon signs, you know, fairly often. But early in my playthrough, I don't know, because until that fight, I didn't even go online in the game. I always did offline mode.
Well, we'll get used to
Alright, let's see. Modify equipment. What I'm trying to do now is I am trying to get this to +10 so I can make the Spider Queen's Fury Sword.
Oi, where are you off to?
Alright, so what strength is that now? That's 128. That's not too far behind my broadsword. Now I just need large titanite shards, which I believe I can buy from one of the blacksmiths. Don't know how much he charges for them, though. Let's see, which one of these is the closest to him? In Orlando, no. Chamber of the Princess is closer than that. This is probably the closest. Yes, I did beat the Capra Demon on my own. I did not like the arena, just like of all the things I heard about it, because that fight was basically, the first few attempts was me getting stuck on the walls constantly with the dogs and the Capra Demon. And then once I got one run where I got rid of the dogs pretty quickly, the fight wasn't that hard. Because I just went up the stairs, had him follow me, and just waited for him to use his jumping attack where he was stunned, and he went down relatively quickly. It's funny because not 2 days before I did that fight, I was over at a friend's place and we were watching a top 10 unfair boss fights, and that was one of the candidates for it. And I had just started the game that day, and I was like, oh boy, I can't wait to find that. Alright, I'm just gonna run past these guys. Not very well, obviously. I'm gonna run up here, try to get them to move out of the way. But, yeah. I will admit, at one point, I did attempt the firebomb and dung pie method against the Capra Demon. When I had all those times where I kept getting stuck on the wall, I'm like, you know what, I'll give this a try. I've heard about it, I've seen videos on it. Didn't work, so I just said, screw it, I'll just go fight him normally. And the next time I went in, got past the dogs, and everything went fine. Because, I mean, for as hard as people say the fight is, I didn't think the Capra Demon was that hard. I just thought the arena made it hard. Mostly just because it's easy to get stuck on a wall and not be able to do very much after that. Because as far as his attack patterns were, it wasn't that bad. Alright, now let's go back down. See if they're gone yet. I think this is the blacksmith that sells the large titanite shards. I'd probably rather grind and buy from him than, Alright. Do you sell it? Yes. 3,800 a piece. Okay. Well, let's see how many soul items I have that are not boss soul items. Oh, there we go. 6,000. And these. Hi, Nolan. Yes, this is Dark Souls on the Switch. Okay. Do I have any more? No. Alright. Let's see how many I can purchase. 3. Reinforced weapon. Scimitar. Alright, we're up to Scimitar 8. We're gonna need... probably gonna need 5 more. So... let's make a mad dash out here. Past these guys. And I'm probably going to go back and grind a little bit to try to afford all of that. Midnight is what a lizard? Were you referring to the white winged things or the actual blacksmith I was talking to? Because white winged things are kind of gargoyle demon type things. I think the blacksmith is just a giant, as the game calls them. Not as big as the giants you actually fight, but that's kind of how I view him. Ah, yeah, the blacksmith. Yeah, I'm not really 100% sure what he is. Alright, wait for this, warp back, and what else we can find? What? Yeah, these are all boss souls. Because for people that are new to the game, you get souls from bosses that you can consume into actual souls you can use for experience or money, but they also can they can be used to forge special equipment, which is what I'm trying to get right now by upgrading the scimitar, because it's like curved sword, I believe. And I believe I can turn it into a fury sword. Yes, it is a curved sword. Good. Okay, here's a message. Need humanity. Oh, I know what this is. These messages are stuff that players can put down, and when you're online, you can find messages from other players. Alright. Alright, he's not a lizard then. Let's warp. Go to Undead Parish and probably just fight the guys instead of cheesing them. Most of the time now that I actually am decently doable at fighting them, I normally just fight them one at a time and then cheese them if they gang up on me. Yeah, Nolan, this is a Souls game. This is a patience learning game where you go through areas, learn how everything works to get around enemies, get gear, and fight lots and lots of big epic boss fights. Though the amiibo, I was kind of disappointed in the amiibo because I've tried my non-Dark Souls amiibos on in this game and that hasn't really done anything. It's like you're supposed to just let me make sure it's enabled and I'll try it again. Yeah, you're supposed to just hold down the B button and put an amiibo on the reader. And yeah, I just tried a Zelda one and it does nothing. I know the Dark Souls amiibo unlocks the Praise the Sun gesture early, but I don't think it does anything else. Whoops. My bad. No, Nolan, I do not have the Knight of Solaire amiibo. I just got the game off the eShop and did not get the amiibo itself until I got the job I've got right now, which I got about a week ago. I've been kind of strapped for money, so what money I do have, I kind of like try to spread out across games to review that don't come in as review codes. So the game was doable for me. Didn't want to also spend some more on the amiibo itself. Maybe I'll get it down the road, but not right now. Alright, now let's work our way back down there and not jump off of a ledge. Not that way. Not that way. I'm not a particular fan of all the snake enemies over that way in Sin's Fortress. Oh, so what does it say? Good luck. Yeah, Blade's right. It's more of a collectible. I do like the Knight of Solaire. I just don't see it having that much functionality in the game outside of just unlocking that gesture. I was more expecting amiibos to be able to be used for like small soul drops once a day or small item drops like Titanite shards for upgrades, but that's not what happened. There we go. Now he fell down that time. But Nolan, you're right. It is cool. It does look cool. It just doesn't have much function. Alright. Sad thing is, this character hasn't really changed much as far as weapons across the entire game. The broadsword, I'm pretty sure you find the broadsword really early in the game. And this whole making this fury sword is this character's first real look at, okay, maybe we should make a better sword now. Alright, now we're gonna fight these guys instead of cheesing them. Unless they gang up on me. Yeah, because I'm doing loads of damage to him. That's an instant 2,000, and even if they do kill me out here, the spawn point is just a little ways away. Yeah, because even... Alright, I got the attention of the other one, so I might end up running. Yeah. I'm perfectly okay fighting them one-on-one, but I really don't like groups. Nolan, I reviewed Starlink about a week and a half ago. So if you look on the channel, the review for that should be there. Alright, this guy's being a little careful. And he's by himself now, so I should be able to get him decently. Alright. Oh good, he's trying to heal. You know, one thing I do like about this game is that you see characters switching, enemy characters switching weapons just like you do. Making it seem like they're just other player characters. Okay, so there we got our 9,300. Let's rest to checkpoint it and go back in. It's all good, Nolan. I was just letting you know. Because I had a trip that I went on a couple weeks ago, and Starlink was the last review I did before going on that. All right. There we go. All right, it's going pretty well so far. So if we need 3,800 and we need 5 of them, I'm guessing. That's probably going to be about 40,000. Alright, where'd the other guy go? I know he's around here. Oh, here's a bloodstain. Someone came out here and died. There he is. Alright, get a little more stamina. There we go, got him. Now we can go back and checkpoint it, and that is how you do it legitimately and not running them off the side of the cliff. Oh, like I said, no worries, Nolan. I really enjoyed the game. It wasn't as long as I was expecting it to be, but I still enjoyed it, and I'm probably going to replay it somewhere down the road with one of the other characters. Alright. One. that should get us close to 20,000. Yep. We got one more guy. There he is. Technically, there's 2 more guys. When I first got to this area and unlocked it, I thought... I didn't actually look up to see how tough the enemies were, and I didn't know about the running them off the cliff method. So I went in here thinking, oh, I'm going to get all this experience. I came in and they're like, nope, I cannot do this yet. Alright, this guy's probably harder. I haven't fought him legitimately yet. So we'll see how this goes. Seems to be going alright so far. I say that as I become low on health. Alright, how much experience are you giving me, buddy? Oh, 1,000. Okay, we're not going to fight him anymore. Midnight, I played a little bit of Sonic Mania. And Nolan, I think, as far as Starlink is concerned, they left it open for a sequel. But due to the nature of the game being a Toys to Life thing, I think it would make more sense for a story expansion through DLC and / or new figures. I think that would make more sense. Because, I mean, maybe it's just the Toys to Life thing, because that's what Disney Infinity did. Whenever they made new characters, they made new story arcs that came with character packs, and then just kind of upgraded the game to 2.0 or 3.0. I think with the particular thing they left open-ended, they could do in a large story expansion. I mean, they could also do it in a sequel, but it's the whole Toys to Life thing seems like something that they would continually make new content for. Okay, alright. I would certainly like to see more content in Starlink, because I 100%ed the game after about 25 hours, and most of that was done before I beat the main story. So I'm glad I got it done to do my review before I went on that trip, but I was kind of hoping there would be more post-game than there was. Because there was no real story aspect to the post-game. And I was kind of hoping there would be. Alright, I'm not even going to worry about that tree. Because those trees are the one thing I don't like in this area, because they only give you 100 experience, 100 souls. Yeah, I'm expecting an update, new toys, story expansion, and it died. Well, I'll just have to collect that on my next run, which is another thing I really like about this grinding spot. Right. They released everything at once, and honestly, I got the game digital. I didn't get the physical. I didn't get the mount and all the toys and stuff. And with that in mind, it didn't feel like a Toys to Life game to me. It just felt like a space fighting game or air combat game. Where'd those souls drop? Okay, now I have to find where those souls dropped so I can collect them and not lose them. There they are. Alright. Since I've already aggroed some people, I'm just gonna go back and cheese the fight. Even though I'm going entirely the wrong way. If I got my souls back, I'd be pretty salty if I lost that 28,000 souls. Pretty... I've been through this place 1,000 times, but I still get these little scenarios where I am lost. There's that guy. We should be getting closer now. Come on, where's that entrance at? Now I've got tree guys behind me, the normal guys behind me. This is the wrong area. I need to keep going this way. I'll find it eventually. Or that will happen. Blade, that is possible, since the knights do give a fair amount of experience there. Because the ones right in front of the boss room give like 3,000 apiece, and the ones outside give around 1,500, I want to say. So let's see how close I was to the actual target, because now I gotta go collect him again. There's a blood stain. Oh boy. Where, oh where, did those souls go? There. Yeah, look at that. I fell off a ledge and there they are way out here. Keep running, buddy. Yeah, that is true, Blade. There is a Yeah, there's a bunch of bonfires in Analondo. It's also much harder to get lost. Alright. Well, I found the entrance, so I'm going to try to cheese this real quick and... see how much we get. There he goes. How close are they? They're a little too close for comfort. I'm just going to go reset this. As soon as I get the souls for the guys that went over. Or the one guy that went over. Well, there's a bunch of games I'm looking forward to. Especially Pokemon. A little bit for Smash Brothers, I guess. I'm not really one of the really hardcore Smash Brothers players, but I did enjoy playing Smash on the 3DS. All right, let's see if we can't warp and where is it? It's not Dark Moon Tomb, Analondo. I I think we're almost to what we need for the remaining pieces for those upgrades. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Dragon Quest XI. Actually, look up a list of games that I am particularly interested in. World of Final Fantasy next week I'm looking forward to because I really enjoyed playing that on the Vita. I'm just pulling up Nintendo's page because there's a lot of stuff that I see that I'm like, oh yeah, I want to play that, I want to play that, I want to play that. Yeah, Diablo 3, which I already have. World of Final Fantasy. Pokemon Let's Go. Maybe Civilization 6. I'm still kind of torn for or against that. Smash Brothers, Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe. I am looking forward to because I'm one of those people that did not have a Wii U. So that's something new for me to kind of look forward to and play. And let's see. Sort by release date. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff. Oh yeah, all of the Final Fantasy games that Square Enix released, all of them. Because I am a big Final Fantasy fan, so that is a big selling point for me. All the Final Fantasies that just got announced, all the Resident Evil games that just got announced. So I'm looking forward to all of those. Alright, can I aggro just one of you? Yes, I can. Alright. Oh man, I haven't fought these guys in here. I fought the really hard ones in the right before the boss. And these are not the really hard ones. With how fast his HP's going down, like, you are not the harder ones. Alright, let's see what you give me. See how much you give me. 1,500, okay. Let's get your buddy to give me 1,500 as well. Thank you, Cyber Ninja. I always appreciate hearing that people appreciate the content I make. All right. Let's not fight like that anymore. You can tell I'm not too used to fighting these guys, because I beat the ones in the inside area, but that doesn't mean I'm good at fighting them. And I'm pretty sure at least one of those is a mimic, so I'm not even going to bother with those chests. And then suddenly that happens. Alright. No blade, I'm pretty sure I don't on this character. Let me take a look at what rings I got. Fire defense, extra magic casting, miracles, miracle synergy, balance, abyss. Nope. I'm almost there, though. So if they're 3,800 a piece, I will need at least... Wait a minute. See you around, Nolan. I'm pretty sure I already have all the souls I need. I think I greatly miscalculated there. So we're just gonna wait for the elevator. Head down to Mr. Blacksmith and see if we can finally make this stuff. And I'm also gonna switch back to the painting Guardian hood. Because for the longest time I had this really mismatched, awful looking costume with the leather face mask, the black robe, and I think leather boots. And as soon as I saw the painting Guardian enemies in that building over there, it was just I need that armor set. Alright. Let's work our way that way. We don't need that equipped. And we'll visit our blacksmith friend. No, I have not done the DLC stuff yet, Blade. Alright, we're gonna need to run up because I'm just not in the mood to fight those, I don't know what they're called. Gargoyles? Annoyances? Irritations? So we're just gonna come up here for a minute, wait for them to leave, and head back down. But yeah, no, I have not done very much of the DLC. I think the golden golem that unlocks the merchant down by the lake was part of the DLC, or at least was linked to it. But that's about all I've done outside of the base game stuff. All right, dude, what you got for me? Yeah, I have enough for 9. Reinforced weapon. Okay. Lightning sim. There we go. Fury sword. Let's make that. Now let's... Ho! Yeah. I like that. Can we reinforce it? Yes, we can. With Demon Titanite. That might be a little bit more difficult to come by. Yep. But oh well, we made it. So, it's good enough for me. Yeah, Midnight, I do like playing indie games from time to time. With the Switch, a lot of the stuff I've been playing have been bigger titles that weren't really coming to handheld platforms before the Switch came out. But I do like playing indies from time to time. Okay, let's see. And I am not far enough with this character right now to farm Demon Titanite. We've been going for almost an hour and a half, though, so I think I'm going to call it quits on this stream. I appreciate everybody that came. Thanks a lot for the discussion. I hope I helped you out a bunch, entertained you, and I will be back with new reviews soon. Probably either Child of Light or Diablo 3 will be next. So